On the first ever upcoming attractions episode, Meet the Team, we're going to talk about our favorite movies of all time, our most anticipated upcoming films, and what we've been watching lately. All this and more on upcoming attractions. G'day gang, and welcome everyone to Upcoming Attractions. I'm your host, Matthew C. Vella. Matt Vella, call me whatever you want. I'm your friend to the end. And with me today, my co-host. First up, she's an actress, a photographer. Ladies and gentlemen, Adrianne Amida.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
And also with us today, my other co-host, our other co-host, your friend and mine. He is an author, journalist, and remarkably handsome Wookiee, Jesse Hyland. How you doing?
Thank you, Matthew. Yes, g'day guys. How we going? I appreciate that. Starting off with the compliments. So.
Yeah. Oh God. You guys might hear the nerves in my voice here. Why is that? Well, it's kind of our first episode, but it's kind of not. So first of all, the point of this episode is to introduce everyone to what is upcoming attractions. And that feels like an easy question and a hard question. Long story short, Upcoming Attractions is a probably fortnightly podcast. That could change, but it's a podcast about the upcoming attractions, the movies, the latest films, reviews, discussions. We'll have interviews, all that cool stuff, talking about film and the things we love. The reason why I say this is kind of the first, but kind of the not, Upcoming Attractions originally started as like a side show as a part of another podcast called Midnight Double Feature. It ran for about 3 years. We did well over 100 episodes. We had some amazing interview guests, including like the director of Scooby-Doo, the DOP of Justice League and Game of Thrones, Simon Bird from In-Betweeners, the screenwriter of Dragon Ball Evolution, so many cool people. But at the end of the day, the core of the show has always been us talking about movie trailers and what we've seen in the cinema. And we've split off. I've sort of taken that. I still love all the guys. Many of them will probably, Zoheb and Colin probably appear in here from time to time, I'm sure. But we're now our own independent thing. And I've spent the last few months in Sydney lockdown trying to build this up into what it can be. And thankfully, I'm not alone because it's been kind of scary trying to start this all up. So that's where Adrianne and Jesse come in. They've been very supportive and very amazing. And I don't want to tear up too quickly, guys, but thank you so much for joining me on this crazy journey.
You're so welcome.
I'm sure it's going to be a lot of fun. So the last episode of Upcoming Attractions in our old format was at the end of July. We are recording this today on, October 11. I have no idea when this will come out. Yes, it's Freedom Day, which means it's the day that movies come out. There's also other things.
That's the most important one.
Exactly. And so we can't wait to see a whole bunch of films and talk about them on the podcast.
Now let's go to the pub.
Oh, man. I was going to go to the pub this Arvo, but my missus says apparently the line is just insane to even try and get in. So we'll try maybe again tomorrow. We'll see. Look, so the point of today is to introduce each other and just have a little chat, talk about our favorite movies, what we're looking forward to, and then the first real episode will probably come out either the same week or the week after this releases. You can probably tell by the way I'm talking, I don't know when this will come out, but hopefully very, very soon. So without further ado, let's go around the circle and talk about ourselves, but I'm going to make it a challenge. You're going to have 60 seconds on the clock to just introduce yourself to the world. Do I have a volunteer of who should go first? I shotgun gone last.
Oh, great. Okay, I'll do it. I'll just do it. I'll get it over and done with.
All right, you ready? I'm actually going to hold... No, I won't show you the clock.
Don't show me the clock. Don't show me the clock.
Wow, it's pretty sadistic.
That's torture. All right.
It's like a real
60
bad...
seconds.
It's like
Describe
a real bad...
yourself.
It's like a real bad trap from Saw.
I was
or
just
Squid
about
Game.
to say that. Oh my god.
All right, okay. I'll give you a countdown. I'll give you a 3, 2, the 1 will be silent, and then I'm going to hit start. Okay. You know what? No. I'll be a little bit nicer. I will hit start the second you start talking. Okay.
Okay.
So you can decide your fate. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
All right,
Okay.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. My name is Adrianne Armida. I'm a photographer, actor, occasional writer, wannabe director in the future. As a person, I'm pretty bubbly. I'm accident prone. I have a lot of really interesting stories, usually at, without even having to try. Things just happen to me for some reason. I love film. I've been watching films pretty much since I came out of the womb, and I haven't stopped since. They're my favorite thing ever. I love rom-coms, comedies, and adventures, like classic, epic, Spielberg adventures. They're my favorite. The Goonies was my favorite childhood movie. There's a little fact for you. But my whole world revolves around it, and that's sort of how I got into photography, through like acting and being on set and just falling in love with the camera. So
5 seconds.
I love dogs and food, and I'm Italian. That's all I've got.
I like dogs and food.
Actually, you're at 58 seconds, so that was actually really impressive. Give a round of applause.
Oh, that's not much time.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Jeez, it's not much time.
Yeah, it's not, but you actually got quite a bit out from that, so good on you.
It was like a little therapy session. That was good.
All right. Well, hopefully we don't unravel any childhood traumas today, but we'll see. Who knows what will happen?
Time will tell.
Jesse, I've got the timer ready. When you start talking, God. I will hit start.
Oh, jeez.
Whenever you're
ready. Okay, give me a second. I gotta mentally prepare myself. Okay. Do
you want some time to pull up your bio from?
I'm just trying to think. Oh, fuck it.
Okay, you ready? Ready? All right. Yeah. Whenever you're ready.
Okay, guys. I hate doing this, but how we going? My name's Jesse Hyland. I'm a journalist, an author. I released my first book this year called Abandon. I'm also an actor. I do a little bit of acting work on the side. I love film and television. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here. And I guess some of my favorite stuff would be the sort of the crime thriller genre, a bit of sci-fi and horror. And yeah, I've always loved film and television, and it's kind of a big part of my life, and don't really know what else to say. Is that 30 seconds?
That's 40 seconds.
Do I need to say anything else?
You got plenty of time. If you can end it there if you want.
I don't even know what else to say. I like peanut butter and chocolate. Peanut butter, chocolate, and ice. Not together though.
Peanut butter, chocolate, and ice.
That's yeah. And coffee. I like coffee. That's a little bit about me.
That's a minute, and this might be a bit too soon. This is our first episode, but when the merch store drops, I think. Oh my god, I like peanut butter. That might be our first shirt.
Yeah, I think that's amazing.
or peanut butter, chocolate, and ice, but not together. Not together. You said.
Not chocolate and so there's the Reese's Pieces thing, and everyone always gives me that, and I'm like, I hate it. I actually don't like
That's
it.
So
I
bizarre.
like chocolate. I like chocolate and peanut butter, but not when they're together. It's weird. I'm also a big smooth peanut butter advocate.
Me too. Yes.
Not crunchy. Get crunchy. Get that out of my face.
Yeah, agree.
Get those nuts out of my face.
I've never been.
I just realized I just said that.
I'm not a spread guy. Like literally, the only spread I'll touch is like butter and margarine. I won't do peanut butter. I won't do Vegemite. I know, blasphemy. I won't do jam. No, jam. Get the fuck out of here. I do not do jam. Jam can go. Jam it. No, there's no word.
Wow.
What is wrong with you, sir?
I'm gonna reconsider this friendship. This is a bit much for me, to be honest.
I don't need these bells and whistles. I just need. You know what I find all the time with my toast? If I just get like a multi-grain bread, the grain is enough flavor for me. I don't need all this extra shit.
So you just have dry toast in the morning?
With butter or margarine.
Okay,
One or the
all
other.
right, that's fine.
But
Okay.
often I'll have it like a big thing I'll do is like I'll have like boiled eggs and like I'll dip it into the yolk and that's pretty
Okay.
Is this for
All right,
breakfast
I
or?
getcha.
Yeah, I'll have a breakfast. Yeah, mostly for breakfast. But
See, I skip breakfast, so
I used to skip breakfast all the time, but I find with working from home in the last couple of years, I need that breakfast. If I'm hungry, I can't work. Like my ADD will be like, no, think about this instead. And I've got to like, my brain is like a toddler. I've got to like calm it down before I can do anything.
You get hangry and distracted. That's pretty much what happens to me as well.
Okay.
I'm
look,
also
it's my turn.
I'm gonna time you this
Okay.
time, okay?
All right. Okay. All right.
Dun 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 dun.
Oh, I'll be stuck in my head now. All right. So when I'm ready.
Yep.
All right. My name is Matt Vella. I'm a creative spirit and I'm an ADD one, so I'm always doing something different. But my main thing is indie films, short films. I've done a few. I've done the festival circuit around the world. I've won some awards. It's really fun. But when I'm not making films, I'm often talking about them on a podcast or so. I also run a networking group called Western Sydney Filmmakers Hangout, where I help connect Western Sydney filmmakers together, especially emerging ones. What else do I do? The last few years, whenever I could, out of lockdown, I've tried to get like stand-up comedy. I have a love-hate relationship with it already, but it is fun. What else do I do? I used to be in a metal band when I was a kid. When I was like 18, I'm a big, I love music. If I wasn't doing a film podcast, probably doing a music podcast or a video game podcast. I'm a big gamer. I love all sorts of medium. And I'm a hardcore Marvel addict. I love comic book nerdy shit. And time's over?
That's
Okay.
perfect.
Cool.
Well done. Well done.
I think
Nailed
we
it.
all did good.
We did.
Yeah.
Except me.
You were pretty
Guys,
good.
I think we just speed dated ourselves. I just realized.
We did.
Yeah.
We
I
did.
think that's how that works. I've never gone speed dating, but I hope it's not like that because that would be a terrible way to like meet a partner. Just be like, oh, here's my job interview in 60 seconds
Pretty
while I
much.
fumble over my own words. Oh my
Yeah.
god. Well, that's it for this episode. No, I'm kidding. So next up, I've prepared 3 questions, and we'll go around the group. To if we haven't scared people off already, I'm sure this will. These are the. I think this is an important sort of aspect to like the podcast because I think you guys are going to hear us talk about films, but everybody has their own biases and preferences and things like that. So it's good to know like what we like, what we're into. So the 3 questions we'll be asking going around. The first will be, what is your favorite movie of all time? And I know that's hard. I'm going to ask you to pick one. If you want to mention some runner-ups, you can. And what's your favorite one and why? Why do you love it? Why is that so important to you? After that, we're going to say what's your most anticipated upcoming film, because that's the point of upcoming attractions. It's what's coming up next. And then we'll close out probably on a conversation of what we've been watching lately, whether it be on Netflix or whatever. So, Adrianne.
Yes.
What is your favorite movie of all time?
Well, Matt and Jesse, no one is going to guess this, but it is Pirates of the Caribbean, The Curse of the Black Pearl. My all-time favorite film.
I just realized now we should have made this a guessing game.
We so should
Oh,
have.
what?
We should have.
We should, but I would have guessed that. So if there were points, I'm gonna give myself a point.
You would.
Adrian's is a safe assumption if it's got Johnny Depp in it. So
Oh, yes.
Yeah.
You know, look, he has done some terrible films. I will not lie. But Pirates is my favorite. I have a tattoo on my rib cage that is Jack Sparrow's like 9 pieces of 8 beads. That's how much I love this movie. I've seen it countless times. Look, for me, I remember sitting in that theater in 2003 and being blown away and knowing that was just all I wanted to do. And at the very least, that film was going to be a part of my life forever in any way, shape or form. It's the comedy, the romance, the action, the adventure. the drama, that bit of sort of like fantasy as well. It was just everything in one, and I love all of the characters so much. I would happily be, you know, abducted on a ship and taken away with any of those crews. So, you know, love it.
Those
Maybe not David Jones.
Those adventure movies, they feel like a dying breed sometimes, but like
sometimes
every now and then they pop up and you're like, you don't, I feel like most of the time I don't know it's going to be an adventure movie. And then like halfway through, I'm like, oh, okay, this is cool. Like, I feel like, you know, before Pirates, we had The Mummy, which was kind of like that.
Yep.
And I feel like that sort of took its place. But like, I've only just started watching like Night of the Museum. I've been trying to go through them recently.
Indiana
like,
Jones.
Yeah, Indiana Jones. Like, I've been getting those vibes. Yeah, that's a great pick. I should also mention, guys, we should, the way we all know each other is we all went to uni together about 5 years ago with a huge group of friends. And this one Halloween party we went to, AD had a killer Jack Sparrow outfit. It was, you nailed that.
Thank you.
Well, actually, I was the year under you guys.
Oh,
What?
yeah, but we hung out a bit. We still hang out.
Because-
we went to uni. We went to the same uni. But
No, like I don't think I actually met you guys until after uni, didn't I? I think it was after uni that I met, because you guys, I think it was 2015, 2016. I met you
like
Mm.
guys.
just after, but we still had gone. We had like links through other people.
Well,
all the time.
we met you through someone we were in class with, so
Yeah.
you kind of count. And you went to the same uni. We probably walked past each other at like the freaking canteen.
Probably.
Or whatever.
Yeah.
So,
You probably think, who's that idiot? That weirdo.
bro, let's be real. It would have been the other way around because I'm a
Oh.
loud,
No.
attention-seeking weirdo at times. But look, bro, it's you're up next. I know you struggled with this one. What is your favorite movie of all time? You know what? Let's make it a game. I'm going to take a guess. Then Adrian, you take a guess. And then
You're not
you
going
tell
to
us
get
if we're
it.
right or wrong.
You can try.
All right. My
You can try,
guess
you're not gonna get
is, I think I've got a, if it's not right, I reckon it's a runner-up. Okay, you ready?
Yep.
No, actually, Adrian, you go first because I feel confident that I'm going to get it right.
All right, I'm just going to go by a process of deduction and what I know. So you love crime and you like thrillers and mysteries and stuff like that. I'm just going to go with 7.
Nah.
Yeah, I knew I was wrong. That's fine.
Not even close.
I reckon
Damn it.
your favorite movie.
Not even my favorite Fincher. He did that, didn't he? Fincher did that.
What's your favorite Fincher? What's your favorite Fincher?
Probably Zodiac.
Yeah. It's probably Zodiac. Okay, I would say your favorite film is The Departed.
No.
Damn,
I felt so
that was a
confident
good.
on that.
Yeah.
Not even my favorite Scorsese, so.
What?
Okay. Yeah.
What's
actually,
your favorite Scorsese?
that's not my favorite.
Goodfellas.
My favorite
of course.
Scorsese is Casino.
Oh, Casino's so
So
Casino's so underrated.
I know. All right, what is it?
You know-
Tell us.
Oh, yeah. What's yours?
So I hate you, Matt, for making me do this because I really don't have an absolute favorite. I'd say I've got a collection of favorites, a mirage, a myriad of favorites. But I guess one I'd probably pick would be the assassination of Jesse James by the coward Robert Ford.
I
Probably
haven't seen that.
Me neither.
probably the best. It's probably the best movie I've ever seen. Like honestly, like the acting, the story, like even though it's based on a true story, the cinematography, the music, I've got the album. It's just everything is just beautiful. It's just a piece of art. And unfortunately, because it's it's a 160-minute film, and it didn't get like a big box office because it's more of a it's not like your big blockbuster. It's very independent sort of film, I guess. So it didn't get like a huge box office return, but I love it, because I'm like, well, my first name, I sort of grew up, because of my first name, I kind of grew up with the Jesse James sort of mythology a bit. I got like, even though he's an American outlaw and I'm Australian, but I sort of grew up with those kind of stories and stuff like that about him because of my first name, and I've got some stuff like Jesse James stuff in my room from when I grew up.
Is it because it's the same name as you? Is it because Jesse?
No, it's not. Like it's generally that's
Is this an
because I
ego
grew up
thing?
with.
Maybe we are
No,
going to a
no.
therapy
It's not.
session.
No, it's no.
Maybe.
It's not an no. It's not an ego thing.
No,
It's
no,
only
I'm
because I
kidding.
grew up with it. It's
Yeah.
literally only because I grew up with it. Because when I was younger, my dad would like tell me, about him and stories about him and stuff like that, and who he was, and like if I didn't grow up with that, then it'd still be up there, but it wouldn't be as
Special in a way.
But I don't know. It's just I've. But even without that link from my childhood, like it's still be up there because it's just such a brilliant film. And I got the book as well, and I don't know. It's just something about it. It's just beautiful, and there's just a lot in it. And
Did you say it's
I
Did you say it's an Aussie film or it's American?
No.
No. It's an American film. Brad Pitt's plays Jesse James and Casey Affleck plays his. It's about his last days as an outlaw, basically, and he knows that the Pinkertons, who were like the detectives or the police back then, are basically after him. He's the most wanted man in America at that stage of his life, and he just basically knows he's kind of stuffed. Everyone he's known has, like, all of his gang members have either been killed or put into prison, and he basically knows he's just in a sort of end game sort of situation where he knows either someone's going to turn him in or kill him because he's got a huge price tag above his head.
Right.
I'd highly recommend watching it. I absolutely love the movie, so I could spend hours talking about it. But I
only ask you that because I pulled it up here on IMDb, and first thing I saw, of course, I see Brad Pitt, Casey Affleck, but then I check out this director, Andrew Dominic, to find out he directed the Chopper
New Zealander
film.
or Australian or something. Yeah, he directed Chopper with Eric Bana. He's New
Chopper
Zealand, I think. Or
He's Kiwi. He is Kiwi. He is.
Yeah, here we go. But yeah, like Chopper, like that is like one of the all-time great Aussie crime films, I would say.
I haven't actually seen it, unfortunately. I saw the one he did afterwards, Killing Him Softly, which I thought was decent. But people have a lot of problems with his movies because they're very slow, and there's a lot of talking, and it's very slow. Very beautiful shots, like those sort of grassy hills and fields and stuff like that, and I kind of like that sort of stuff. I know it's kind of like because it's kind of arty. I don't know. I just like that sort of stuff. I don't know. But some of my other favorites would be the first Alien film with Sigourney Weaver.
Classic.
I'm a diehard Alien fan, but particularly the first one. If someone tells me Aliens, I'm like, nah. I like Aliens, but the first Alien movie is my favorite. Jurassic Park. I've been to
Jurassic
the
Park,
shooting I've been to the shooting locations for the first Jurassic Park and Jurassic World.
Where was that?
In Hawaii?
In Hawaii.
Oh, I didn't know that. It makes sense, though. Yeah.
No Country for Old Men would be another one.
Flawless movie, so good.
And A Clockwork Orange would be my top five.
That disturbed me for a really long time.
Clockwork Orange.
Yeah, I was like 14, walking around school like life is shit. I don't know. It was really sad and so depressing.
I love that movie.
It was great, but it really affected me, and I was like, I'm not going to watch this for a long time.
That's Kubrick for you. He'll do that.
Yeah,
to
yeah, he will.
Well, since Jesse gave us a runner-up list, Adi, do you have any other runner-ups to Pirates of the Caribbean?
Yeah, I'll give two. The first one would be E.T. I love E.T. and it always makes me cry like a baby. I just the acting in it is incredible. Like those children are insanely talented. I love the old school effects as well and the robotics. It's just, I don't know, it gives it this whole different feeling and makes me more attached in a way. But I love that film and I watch it every now and then. It's just timeless. And then my third film would be American Beauty. I watched that when I was 15 and it was one of the first movies that actually changed my outlook on life and it made me a different person to like a pretty significant degree. I just loved the way that the character of Lester Burnham decided to throw all caution to the wind and give zero fucks because, you know, it is really useless spending your entire life just, you know, living for the man, I suppose. But I really, really love that picture.
Yeah. Damn. I guess I'm next.
Yes.
You guys take a guess. What do you think is my favorite film of all
It's got to
time?
be something Marvel. I'm calling it now.
I actually am
I'm putting
stumped.
some money down. I don't have my wallet on me, but if I did, I'd be holding some money up in the air and then putting it on the table.
But what film would it be?
I feel like I should
There's
know
like
this.
over 20 movies in that franchise.
Yeah, there's a lot.
Iron Man. I'm gonna go with Iron Man.
Incorrect.
Shit.
It's hard.
It's got to be a Marvel movie. I'm gonna say.
It's probably not.
What's the? Because I'm not as into the superhero stuff. What's the third Avengers movie? What's that called again? I can't remember what it's called.
Infinity War.
Infinity War.
Yeah, I'm gonna say that.
Look, you're both wrong because it's not even a Marvel movie.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
I fell into the
But look, it's you're in the right wheelhouse. I would say my favorite movie ever is The Matrix.
Ooh,
oh wow!
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Good choice.
So,
Good choice.
So for me, I did not grow up a movie buff. My parents, not movie buffs. But that movie was the movie I saw, especially when I was sick. I would just rewind some of those fights and play again. I watched that movie and I was like, I need to understand more about this. Because it made me... The thing about it is it captured a lot of things I like. Like, some of the first stuff I really got into was Jackie Chan. I was obsessed with Jackie Chan. But this had, like, American actors doing Hong Kong-worthy kung fu. But they also mixed, like, these anime influences. But they're also bringing in all these philosophical elements. So you felt smart watching an action film. And I never had experienced that before. But then, you know, they had these crazy sci-fi. It's like they took every cool genre and put it in. And so you had all that stuff. Plus there's like the element of like the internet was still kind of new. And so the way they were putting in themes of computers was so smart. And it made me want to go, I want to know more. So I did a deep dive. I played all the video games. I've read the comics and the books and all the other stuff they did. But what really got me then was the behind the scenes. I would always try and go on the internet, or I had this DVD actually at home. It was about like the making of, and that got me really into filmmaking. Cause like I could see how they were like trying to troubleshoot to come up with ideas. Like when they did the whole bullet dodge sequence, or when Trinity does the kick, they had all the cameras built around. And I like watching these people explain how they came up with how they did that. It blew my mind. And that's when I think I was like, I also want to do this one day.
Yeah.
There were many movies I liked as a kid, but that was like the one that made me go, oh shit, how cool would it be to work in movies?
Yeah.
Or talk about movies, or just... And now, like, it's this problem in my life where I can't just watch a movie. I have to go on Wikipedia. I have to go on IMDb. Yes. I have to understand. I can't just watch a film. I have to understand how they did it. And
absolutely.
My favorite feeling in a movie now is when I watch a scene and I go, how did they come up with that idea? Or how did they pull that off? Or like, I love seeing like the Lego blocks of the building it. And The Matrix is, it's a perfect film. I wish the sequels were perfect. I do like them more than the average person, but I wish they're on the same quality. My runner-up is probably Up from Pixar.
Oh,
wow. Okay.
film.
Wouldn't have picked that.
Yeah, look, I'll admit it's not perfect. Technically, you could argue that Coco...
It's not perfect, but he places it second.
But, no, let me explain. Right? You could argue like something like Coco is like, does everything that does, but better. But like, I have a sentimental and nostalgic value to it.
Yeah.
Like, that opening scene...
Oh my God.
Not many scenes make me cry, but I've seen it every time I watch it. I cry, and it reminds me of my grandparents, and it means so much to me. And I'm a big fan of animation as well. Like, especially Pixar films. So, yeah.
Monsters Inc. #1.
Monsters Inc. is, that's great. You know, they've got didn't they make was it a Monsters Inc. show on Disney Plus?
Yeah, they did. They did.
I haven't seen it. I don't know if I will, but
I saw the what was the other one? University.
Yeah, Monsters University.
It was okay.
Yeah.
It was
right.
alright.
Just without Boo, it doesn't feel the same. Like I just want her like Mike Wazowski. I need that.
So good.
So cute. Let's move on. Let's move on to our second question. This might be a little bit harder. Guys, what is your most anticipated upcoming film? Now, it doesn't have to be something that we've got a trailer for yet. It could be something that's going to come. It could be out in the cinemas now, but we haven't been able to see it because of lockdown. Let's start off with you, Adi. What's your most anticipated film?
My number one most anticipated is Dune. I don't care how mainstream that is. I'm so excited. I've watched that trailer like 30 times, trying to pretend like I'm watching the movie because I'm so impatient already, but I cannot wait. I feel like it's going to be a visual explosion. Like this just, amazing universe I cannot wait to get into. And I love Zendaya. I love her so much. I'm so excited.
That's playing at Sydney Film Festival, I believe.
It is. I think it might be closing. I think it's a closing picture, but I honestly cannot remember off the top of my head.
That movie is going to blow everyone away. I can tell already.
Oh yeah.
It's such a refreshing. I don't really know much about the source material, but it seems like such a refreshing take on the space opera type genre.
Yeah.
Which is crazy to say because Guardians of the Galaxy, which feels like it just came out yesterday, also is such a refreshing take on space operas. But it's nice to know that not everyone's just trying to copy and paste Star Wars, you know? Like, but I guess Dune came before Star Wars technically, but
true.
Yeah. Jesse, what's your most anticipated upcoming film?
I'd say I got a couple. Nothing that's like. I'd probably say one of my most anticipated is the Sopranos sequel, The Many Saints of New York. I'm a huge Sopranos fan. I know it's already come out in America, but I think Australia gets it next month. I think it is. I can't remember exactly, but I love the Sopranos. I'm a huge Sopranos fan, so that's probably my most anticipated.
It's getting a cinema release, right? It's getting cinema release.
Yes, it's getting a cinema release. I'm not sure with regards to streaming here. What's the
what the go is?
What's the go of that? Yeah, what the go of that is. But I guess some of my other favorite ones would be that I'm looking forward to seeing is Pig with Nicolas Cage, which I guess again has already been released in America for weeks, and we're just the butt end of cinema releases. Yeah. Oh yeah, Australia, they'll get it eventually, you know. What's some? There's a couple more. I can't exactly remember. One of the ones we did, the card counter one, that actually looks really interesting. I think we talked about that before. Yeah, when we recorded that earlier episode.
For the listeners at home, we did 2 test episodes before this. They will be released in time, and they're going to be a nice little time capsule because we were ignorant back then, and we were just talking about a bunch of films we hadn't seen. But
that looks good, and I didn't even know about it, to be honest. But it looks actually. I'm quite interested to see that as well. There's probably a couple more, but those I'll probably just say those ones in the meantime. So, yeah,
that's cool. I think my most this year has been a year of franchises that I love that I couldn't wait for. Like Mortal Kombat was something I was over the moon about, and then I saw it, and I'm not gonna lie, I was really disappointed. I was every day checking leaks, rumors. I was so fanboying for that, and then it was just like a bunch of fight scenes in great cosplay, sticky tape together, and I'm just there like, there was so much lore you could have gone into. But that's okay. My most anticipated now is I think my most anticipated would be the new Spider-Man, No Way Home. For a few reasons, one, we've only got the trailer right now, but it does seem like the rumors and leaks are true. We are probably going to get all 3 Spider-Man together, which is really exciting. I do think the comic book storyline they're adapting is kind of whack, but what I'm most interested about is I'm very invested. So I love it I love seeing drama behind the scenes for major films. Like like Suicide Squad, the original one, Fan Four Stick, all those movies that are like crumbling apart, and we're hearing stories about how like the studios were fighting with directors and stuff. I live for that shit, right? And I have all these theories about how Sony and Disney are like fighting over Spider-Man, and I have this belief. I have a very strong belief. This is my theory that this will be the last Tom Holland Spider-Man film we will ever get from Disney. I think what my belief is, because we know that the agreement was with the first two Spider-Men, if neither of them made $1 billion, Sony could get the rights back. Neither of them made $1 billion for opening weekend. And then we know shit went down and Tom Holland begged Sony to stay with Marvel. And next thing you know, they're all like Venomverse, Morbius trailer drops. There's some rumors that there are some connections to the MCU with the new Venom film. We haven't seen it yet. There's all this stuff going out. And I feel like with all this multiverse stuff happening now, they're going to like somehow... Because I'm also very passionate about how much I hate the Venom movies. I've only seen the first one. I just feel like the Sony... Like with most of their franchises, they rush them out. It's such a cash grab. There's no artistic integrity in comparison. Oh, I'm getting too passionate. I gotta hurry up. But like, I know.
We're gonna rein him in.
Yeah, no, I'm sorry, but like, I just want to know. Like, I want to know how they could combine them, because I feel like the tones don't match, and I feel. But if Marvel touch it, Marvel will find a way, because they're geniuses.
Yeah, true.
Sony, I think, are idiots, and they fuck up almost every opportunity they've ever had with any major franchise. I think Jumanji is the only franchise that they're doing a good with. Like, I'm sure there's a couple off the top of my head. There's some Seth Rogen comedies, but they're all one-offs, so I don't know. But anyways, I'm a huge Spider-Man fan. Spider-Man is my all-time favorite, like, fictional character, and I just want them to do him justice. And this feels like a big send-off or some really celebratory thing. And a Spider-Man celebration, regardless of what they do with it, is exciting to me. So I'm on board for that. Jesse, I'm sorry, I'll shut up with my Marvel bullshit.
That's all right.
And I will say...
Do you think they'll reboot it again in like 2 or 3 years, like they've done with every other time they've done a Spider-Man?
No, but what I do think they'll do is, I think... Tom Holland's been like, he'll play it till the day he dies. There are some rumors that he is looking for a pay rise, but he's definitely worth it. He's a huge star now.
Yeah.
What I'm worried is, okay, here's what I want them to do. Because I think Sony they want Spider-Man so they can promote their other shitty Spider-Man movies, like Venom and Morbius and shit, right? So I just hope they have a situation where they can keep that shit, that garbage, separate from the Marvel movies. And so I hope they create something like Doctor Strange, like, here's a little portal dimensional device so you can travel between both universes and without this shit over here tainting the golden goose, you know? I do not want to see Venom fight Falcon and the Winter Soldier. I don't want one division to hang out with Morbius. Like, just
we could do an entire episode on your hate for Venom, but I love Venom. We could do a debate. Like, I'm up for that.
I will admit, Venom is an okay film. It is average. It is okay, but that character deserves more. I will not review it right now. But I get so frustrated.
We could sit here for 2 hours talking about this.
We'll move on. I will say another anticipated film, not Marvel related. Yeah. I'm very anticipating, obviously, Matrix Resurrections.
Yes.
But I'll be honest, I'm also looking at it like, don't fuck this up, because you're probably going to fuck this up.
True. I'm not having any hopes for that, because I'm too scared to have any hopes.
Did the Wachowskis do the second and third one?
They did, but here's my theory, right? The Wachowskis are like Blink-182, right? When they're all together, or no. The Wachowskis are more like George Lucas, right?
Okay.
Amazing geniuses with great ideas. When working in the studio setting, you can control them and you can give them to put out a compact, great product. But when it's like, well, they did this amazing revolutionary thing, give them unlimited creative freedom.
Yep.
That's when they go all over the place. Like, you look at the first Matrix, one of the best things about that film is its story structure. It is a T to the hero's journey. If you're trying to teach screenwriting, you can just take the hero's journey structure and you can take the Matrix film and it will line up 100%. It's perfect.
Yep.
But then you go look at the sequels and it's 3 hours of philosophical talks and terror. The third one has some of the worst pacing ever. Great ideas, but
it's hard.
It's some great stuff in it, but like it's not paced out. Like they front load all the fights there in the first half hour, and then you got 2 hours of talking.
It's hard to get through.
It's a tough watch. But what I'm hoping for,
I don't mind talking if it's done well. Yeah. Like if the talking's done well and it's written well, then it won't feel like it's as much of a slog.
And in the Matrix, everyone talks like robots, so like, which is ironic because it's all about humans versus robots, but they're always like, "No, Neo, the mainframe is a part of the aspect of control, which is an illusion in your mind." It's like, motherfucker, just say some slang. Say active human, I get it.
I actually didn't mind the second one. I thought the second one was okay.
I will defend the second one. It's lengthy,
but I especially enjoyed like the last half of the second one.
Dude, that car chase. You can't talk shit about that car chase. It was incredible.
But people were just trash 2 and 3. I'm like, give 2 a little bit of, give it a little bit of love.
Well,
like it's not the first one, but
maybe we could even do like a whole Matrix episode. Like there's just so much to unpack.
We could. We'll definitely have to dedicate a lot of time to the Resurrections. I'm very excited for it. I don't love the way they cut the new trailer because the song they used does not feel very Matrixy. Like I feel like they've changed a lot of the aspects of it, like the visual language, like the original films. It was like if you're in the Matrix, it's green, in the real world, it's blue, and then a lot of them they're not using those colors. So what does that mean?
Yeah.
The music is not very Matrixy. I feel like, I don't know. I'm scared it's going to be like that movie Jigsaw, when they tried to revive the Saw franchise. But we'll see. We'll see. It's got Keanu Reeves and he's on a high right now with action films. Yeah. And maybe that's all we need. Maybe we don't need it to be perfect. Maybe we just need to see Keanu Reeves kick someone in slow motion. So we'll see. Look, okay, I'm sorry for my rants. You guys are going to have to get used to that. That will happen from time to time. Okay. Let's move on to our final question for everybody today. And we can just spitball on this one. But
cool.
What have you been watching lately? It could be anything, old, new, Netflix, whatever. Adi, what have you been watching lately?
I have been binging miniseries like nobody's business. I'm not joking. I think in 2 weeks I watched 6 or 7. Nice. And I have a top 3. My favorite one is also a 2021 release, Midnight Mass. I am obsessed. I love it. It's just, it's so dark, but it's more than just being, like a supernatural mystery or anything like that. The commentary on life and death, there are some of the best, most captivating and moving monologues I've ever heard about those topics. And I just thought it was incredibly moving. It still stuck with me. I finished it a few days ago and I'm still thinking about it and processing it. And I've already sort of watched it again because my sister started it after me, but I loved it. Absolutely loved it.
I went to start watching it. I laid down in bed. I turned on and like within 5 minutes, like, oh no, this is one of those shows where I have to like pay attention to everything. And I just turned to my girlfriend and like, we're watching something else because I have to be in a situation where like, I've got the popcorn ready. I got to give it the time of day. So
you do.
I'm hearing amazing reviews. I think IGN gave it a 10 out of 10, which is pretty rare for them, I think. So
it's got like 98% on Rotten Tomatoes as well. It's doing pretty well on IMDb too, but just watch it for yourself. And I think if you appreciate incredible writing and you're up for something dark and confronting about, just the reality that is life and death, then you might really be moved by it. I thought it was incredible, and the actors were brilliant. I don't know how the hell they memorized some of their scenes. They must have been like 30 pages. It's crazy. Wow. But loved it. I loved it.
Anything else?
Yeah. After that miniseries, I really enjoyed 9 Perfect Strangers, which is Nicole Kidman's one that she recently produced, and they filmed it up in Byron Bay with Melissa McCarthy. Oh my God, that thing it's not what you expect. Like, it doesn't end the way you think it's going to. There's every episode you're like, okay, the fuck is happening? Like, who do I trust? I don't know what's going on.
I've got a funny story about that show.
Okay, we will definitely hear that in 1 second. But I oh my God, I binged it. Like, so those two I binged in about a day and a half. Only when I had to like pass out physically is when I would stop the binge. But I had to know what was going on. Incredible. Oh my God, you don't know. It's another good lesson about life. Again, I don't know, seems to be the theme lately, but I fucking loved
that's
it.
That's often a good sign of a good story. I remember one of my first ever screenwriting classes in film school, and someone said one of the biggest mistakes with filmmakers, no matter what level, is writing a story when they have nothing to say.
Yeah.
If your characters can like grow and change, that's great. But if the audience can grow and change with your characters, that is like that's perfect.
Absolutely.
Jesse, what's your story? What's your story about it?
Oh, I was just going to say, so you guys know this story. When I was on the set of a TV series, I was talking to another guy that does a lot of extra work, and he was on the upcoming Thor movie, and he had a extras role on 9 Perfect Strangers. And I don't know if this is going to be a spoiler or not, if people haven't seen it, but there's a scene. Oh, actually, I don't know if I should say it, 'cause it could be spoilery.
Okay.
Just say there was a scene and something happens, and then
There was a scene in. Oh God, I don't know if I can say this. Okay, there was a scene
Can you
in
say it without spoiling it?
Is it about like a
I'll
thing
try.
with one of the actors, or is it the scene itself?
Well, something happened to him specifically.
Ooh.
Okay, so there was a scene in I think it was a theater or something along those lines, and he was seated. They had all these extras seated in the theater, and he was. I haven't seen the series, but he's seated in the front row, and he said there's this scene where a character dies. I'm not going to say how they die,
Okay.
because I don't want to spoil it, but in case that was actually in the series. But and apparently there was supposed to be like a projection of blood, like blood was supposed to, but the ADs told this guy I was chatting to, because he's sitting in the front row, they said, the blood shouldn't get on you or anywhere near you, you should be okay, but this is what's going to happen or whatever.
Yeah.
So they shot the scene, the person dies, the character dies, and the extra that I was chatting to, he got caked in blood, just the blood all sprayed all over him. So,
Oh my God. That's
yeah,
kind
and
of
they're
cool.
like, oh, sorry about that, and they just like walked off. So, and he wasn't expecting it, so he's like so when they filmed it, like he had like a genuine reaction to what was
That's
happening.
really cool.
He was like not expecting it at all. So
You got to have a moment, like an acting moment.
Yeah.
That's really awesome.
So yeah, it's a little
A little piece
bit.
of trivia there. That's pretty cool.
yeah.
Before my turn is over, I just have to mention one more miniseries. The Outsider came out, I think, last year or 2019. It's based on a Stephen King novel about
I gotta watch that.
Jason Bateman is so good in dramatic roles. He basically is in 2 places at the same time that both prove he murdered a young boy and also proved he was not there. And they have to solve this mystery. And it's like a supernatural thriller. My mum and I watched it in one go. We finished it, I think, at like 1 a.m.
Wow.
We couldn't stop. We had to know what happened. It was amazing.
I love that feeling.
Yeah. Oh, so good. So yeah, that was my top 3.
Oh, excuse me.
Bless you.
Wow. Awesome. Thank you. Right here, live on the podcast.
Yes.
Sorry, apologies to everybody.
Get all the sneeze, the coughs.
Gotta get that Rona out of my system. No,
Yeah. Oh my God.
we all good here. We all good here, fam.
We're all back.
You mean Corona
Jesse.
beer?
Yes.
Yes. I've had
Yes.
a lot of those lately.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
what
Matthew.
What have you been watching lately, my friend?
What would you like? Okay, so I watched The Guilty the other day. I think we were chatting about this earlier. I was very we won't review it in case we do it later, or if we are doing it later.
We'll definitely do it later. That movie's awesome.
I'll just say that I was very keen to see it. It looked really good. I love Jake Gyllenhaal, and I love the screenwriter Nick Pizzolatto, who did True Detective, which is one of my all-time favorite TV shows. I don't know it's based on I know it's an American remake of a European film, but yeah, I'll watch that. What else? I'm mostly waiting for shows to come back. I haven't been watching as much. I got to watch Squid Game.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
I feel like I'm the last person on earth who's actually seen that show.
Haven't yet either.
I'm waiting for Dexter, the new Dexter season. I'm waiting for Yellowstone to come back. I'm waiting for Ozark, but I think that's coming back next year. I binge watched all of Ozark like towards the start of this year, and I love that show. Like that show's like super up my alley. Yeah, I think that's about it. Like I haven't been watching heaps lately.
Just waiting.
But yeah, just waiting for stuff to come back pretty much.
So cool, man. Something I've been watching lately: Squid Game.
Oh, okay, you have watched it.
Look, I gotta be honest. It lives up to the hype. I went in expecting not to like it, because like the concept is very silly. In fact, it reminds me of was it Escape Room? I think it was called.
Yeah.
And that movie is like, there's this type of horror film. I call it like Fisher Price horror films, or my first
Fisher Price horror film.
It's PG-13 horror films. Like back in the day, in the 90s and early 2000s, like all horror films kind of blurred together. Right? And now it feels like there's this new subgenre. Like I feel like in the last few years, we've got like two new subgenres of horror films.
Okay.
We have
like Hallmark horror?
Maybe, but okay. Like here's what I do. I call, there's this one which is like, I call them comedy horror, which is, sorry, I call them horror comedy, which is different to comedy horror. What do you mean by that, Matt? Well, like, you know, you get Scary Movie, and that's like a parody of a horror. No, I'm talking like Ready or Not, where that's like it's a horror movie, but it's got a lot of comedy in it.
Yeah.
I like those movies. They're cool.
Yeah.
But then you got like Fisher Price horror, where it's like everybody looks like they're from the CW. Everyone's a supermodel.
Yeah.
The blood is almost non-existent. Anyways, that's what I went in thinking Squid Game would be like. It's not. It is weird as shit, but if anything, it reminds me like why I used to love anime back in the day. Like they'll have these cool scenes which like you never see in Western films, where they'll over-explain concepts while like a montage is happening, and it just feels like it's really overly dramatic, but in a cool way. Like that's something I really like about it, and also they make the weirdness normal, like kind of like how something like Guardians of the Galaxy or even like Taika Waititi films, like everything is crazy, so the craziness becomes normal, and then like it's a great way that the director has made you accept the reality, and so your suspension of disbelief is it's more suited to the film. Like they train you pretty well to get used to what it's like.
Yeah.
But there are some good twists in it. It's not as fucked up as people make it out to be. Like Saw is way more fucked up. But the fact that like they have like these killer versions of like these children games is interesting and entertaining. And I would say it's got the same strengths as something like Get Out or Black Panther has, where they take these cultural things, like these cultural Korean things, but they add a genre twist to it, and it makes it really fun. I will say, and this might be controversial, a lot of people will tell you, watch it with subtitles at Korean dialogue because it's better for the acting. I'm here to say, don't listen to them because the subtitles don't reveal much information. Like, I think what happened is the subtitles are a literal translation, but the dub, like the actors have worked in the studio to, you know, add nuance and slang and add more personality to it. The English actors, or? Yeah, the English voice actors. So I watched with English subtitles and English dubs at the same time, and they rarely match.
That is such a really good idea to do that. Like, I would never have thought to do that, to be honest.
And honestly, like, there are multiple times I looked at subtitle and I listened to them, and I'm like, I never would have known that if I just read the subtitle.
Yeah.
Because like they add way more context to it, and yeah, I just want to get that out there because people. That's what I recommend. Like I know.
So true. You think the subtitles are going to offer you like the original word for word everything. So
well, the thing, yeah, but I guess like with the languages, like not everything always
and they
doesn't
strip
translate
a lot of what they're originally saying.
Yeah.
Just make it so it's bare bones.
Exactly.
You understand what's going on.
I'll tell you what too. I enjoyed it so much that a lot of people have told me that if you like Squid Game, there's another show on Netflix worth watching called Alice in Borderlands.
I've heard of that.
Yeah, which is a Japanese show, and it's a very, very similar concept, but it's a bit more fantastical. It's a little. I wouldn't say it's as good, but I'm enjoying it so far. I'm probably like 3 episodes in.
They know how to do the shows and movies where it's like game shows involving death.
Oh yeah, it's like,
Yeah.
It really feels like the whole battle royale type.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Genre. It's really it's really coming back, especially with these type films. But yeah, what else? I've been watching What If. That just finished, which is the new Marvel MCU animated show. I really enjoyed that. I think it's really cool how a lot of the characters who haven't had screen time much in the Marvel films a bit more expanded here. Like, I feel like the character Captain Marvel has not been explored very well in the movies, but in her limited screen time in What If, she's so much more interesting now, just based on like the little time she's had in the show. And like things like that I found really cool. We can probably talk about that more one day, but as a Marvel fanboy, obviously I was over the moon with that. And I went in like not super stoked on it because I wasn't sure of the animation style at first, but it grew on me pretty quickly. I thought it was pretty cool.
I'll have to check it out for sure.
Yeah. Look, I think that's it. I think it's time to wrap up. We've had a good time today, guys. I've had a blast.
Me too.
And we're gonna have so much more to talk about. In the next few episodes, we'll be talking about all the upcoming attractions coming out, but we'll probably also reflect on some of the things from the last few months as well. Because there's a lot to catch up on. It's exciting though.
Very.
Australian cinemas are open, and Halloween Kills comes out in a few weeks. So I can't wait.
Lock it in.
Yeah. All right. So let's wrap things up, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for listening to us today on upcoming attractions. If you want to support us, one of the things you can do is follow us on social media. Adrianne, where can they go to find us?
So if you want to find us on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok, it's at Upcoming Attractions. You can also hear the audio version of Upcoming Attractions wherever you like to get your podcasts, iTunes, Spotify. And if you want to see the video versions, highlights, and other clips, you can check out those on our YouTube and all of our socials as well. Woo!
Awesome. And Jesse, is there anything else that people can do if they want to support the show?
Yes, there is, Matthew. If you guys enjoyed what we do here, can you please? I'm not. If you would like to, I'm not going to be like hold a gun to your head and say do this. Give us a 5-star review on iTunes. It helps us greatly. And push up.
You know what? Don't take the putting gun to their head off the table. Like, no, because like it could be an option. It could be an option. You know, we might get desperate.
Like, you know, with YouTubers where they're like, oh, like, subscribe, do all this, and that's that sort of thing. Like, I like to do that, but like, you don't want to if you'd like to help us. It'd be very much appreciated.
I mean, if they don't, they could end up in a Squid Game-like situation, or they may not.
Yes.
So...
Well, you're gonna have to kidnap them, Adrianne, because I'm too busy to do that. So.
Look,
all right.
ladies and gentlemen, as you can tell, we put a lot of time, effort, money, and resources in, getting our cameras all together and audio equipment to put this podcast together. But we've put even more money and effort into kidnapping and creating Squid Game-like scenarios to murder people who don't give us reviews. So thank you. That's great. Look, guys, that's it for us today. Thank you so much, and for joining us on this exciting journey that we've got to come. Until next time, I'm Matt, it's Adrianne, and Jesse. Laters.